This one's wife. Everyone in the world knew where we were. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Harry has been in court again, his barristers making submissions on his behalf and legal argument. David Brown in the Times tells us, Prince Harry says Home Office has treated him unfairly. He's bound to do. He's engaging in another whinge-a-thon, something that he's become accustomed to as a consequence of the mindset of his wife. The Duke of Sussex is challenging the government's decision to reduce his security when he visits the United Kingdom. The Duke of Sussex has claimed he is being treated less favourably than other VIPs by the Home Office over his security entitlement, as he challenges the government's decision to reduce it when he visits the United Kingdom. Harry's lawyer told the High Court that an attack on him would damage the nation's reputation and that he was being treated unfairly by the Home Office. The court was told that the Royal Protection Committee took the death of his mother Diana, Princess of Wales, into account when it made its decision, and that he would not have the same degree of taxpayer-funded police security. The Duke, 39, is taking legal action against the government, claiming that he should not be treated differently to other VIPs who receive specialist police protection. Shahid Fatima, KC, representing Harry, said the risk he faced arises from his birth and ongoing status as the son of His Majesty the King. The barrister said the case was about the unlawful treatment of the Duke. This case is about the right to safety and security, she added. There could not be a right of greater importance to any of us. The Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures, RAVEC, which acts on behalf of the Home Secretary, ruled it was not in the public interest for Harry to continue receiving the same degree of police security. RAVEC should have considered the impact that a successful attack on Harry would have, bearing in mind his status, background, and profile within the royal family, which he was born into and which he will have for the rest of his life, and his ongoing charity work and service to the public, said Fatima. RAVEC should have considered, in particular, the impact of the United Kingdom's reputation of a successful attack on Harry. Although Harry was living in Canada when the decision was taken in February 2020, he was still a full-time working member of the royal family when the decision was taken, the court was told. Harry has previously complained he was initially unaware members of the royal household, including the late Queen's private secretary, Sir Edward Young, with whom he had significant tensions, played a role in the decision to remove his security. Pausing there, naturally, Harry, with his rampant paranoia, has formed the view, well, they probably didn't give it me because they have been influenced by the royal household, and they didn't like me, so they've told them don't give Harry any security. It strikes me that his legal challenge is fundamentally flawed, because even if the court determines that RAVEC made an erroneous decision by having regard to the views of the royal household, and therefore they strike the decision down and then remit it for a further consideration, I should imagine that all RAVEC will do is say, OK, we'll make the decision now without recourse to members of the royal household. Oh, look, we're making the same decision. It strikes me that Harry's actually just wasting his money, but there we are. The report continues by explaining that Fatima said it was believed to be the first time the committee has made a decision without asking its own expert risk analysis management board to consider Harry's needs. Harry complained that his car was interdicted by paparazzi. I'm not sure that's a phrase he would use, too many syllables, during a visit to a well-child garden party and afternoon tea in Kew Gardens, West London in June last year. He said no risk analysis was undertaken when he appeared at the High Court in March for his privacy case against the publisher of the Daily Mail. Harry and this one's wife announced in January 2020 that they were stepping back from their roles as senior members of the royal family because they plan to split their time between the United Kingdom and North America. In February 2021, Buckingham Palace announced the Sussexes would not return as working members of the royal family. Lawyers for the Home Office said Ravek was entitled to reach a decision that Harry's security arrangements would be considered on a case-by-case basis. They argue permission for a full challenge should be refused. Sir James EDKC, representing the Home Office, told the court there are finite public resources for state-provided protective security. He said the cohort chosen by Ravek primarily consists of principals who are at principal risk from threats as a result of their role in public life. Edie said the committee was aware of the wider impact following the tragic death of Harry's mother, and this was also a matter referenced by the royal household. The barrister said there would be likely significant public upset were a successful attack on the claimant to take place. Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris in August 1997 after she refused to continue receiving British police protection. Edie said the change in security following Harry's decision to step back from his role as a working member of the royal family, carrying out official duties on behalf of the sovereign. Harry emailed to Mark Sedwell, now Lord Sedwell, then Cabinet Secretary and National Security Advisor in February 2020, saying he should be given state security because of the threats he faces. He wrote, "The argument being based on the amount of time or work spent in the UK and in our case for the royal family isn't relevant when the threat to our everyday life is as high as it is." Edie said it was not irrational for the Security Committee to ask for Harry to give 28 days' notice of his proposed itinerary so that assessments of risks and threats could be completed. Harry is still entitled to security in specific circumstances, such as his visit for the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee in June 2021, the court was told. Edie said Sir Richard Mottram, then chairman of Ravek, consciously decided to depart from the ordinary process of assessing Harry. He said the experts on the committee's Risk Analysis Management Board could not accurately reassess impact or judge Harry's vulnerability to attack when it was unknown how long Harry would be present in Great Britain and what he would be doing while he was here. He said the Duke was treated in a lawful bespoke manner over his security. Edie said it was plainly rational and lawful for the Security Committee to consider that Harry was stepping back as a working member of the royal family. He continued in written submissions. The fact that the Duke of Sussex cannot cease to be a member of the royal family is trite, but does not further inform the balance which Ravek must strike. Most of the 3-day hearing will be held in private. The only 2 legal documents made public are heavily redacted. Harry was refused permission in May to bring a legal challenge over Ravek's decision that he should not be allowed to pay privately for protective security. The Home Office argued that if Harry was successful, it would give the wealthy the right to buy armed officers prepared to put their lives on the line. The Duke claimed in a Netflix documentary released in December last year that he received just 3 weeks' notice that his British police security was being removed after moving to Vancouver Island, Canada. He said he assured his wife that their security would never be removed. This one's wife's background, her heritage, the well-documented hate campaigns against us. I said, no, they would never do that. And they did it, he told the documentary. This one's wife, 42, complained, "Our location was exposed. We knew our security was being pulled. Everyone in the world knew where we were." How did they know where you were? Could it be that you were arranged to be photographed taking your dogs for a walk whilst carrying either Archie or a doll, depending on whose version you believe, as you stare right down the lens, that you made it known as to where you were staying? Could it be that you made it known? Could it be that the fact that you made it known to the world's media where you were staying doesn't really help your case in terms of saying, oh, we were exposed and vulnerable. You exposed your location. But once again, this demonstrates the hypocritical behaviour of this one's wife, how she engages in this contrarian behaviour by complaining that she's subjected to supposed hate campaigns and that her location was exposed, but then she is the one who, by courting publicity, which of course enables her to assert control and draw fuel, is being done by her, and she's the very one that exposes herself. It's clear that she's motivated Harry to bring this court case, and he, of course, is a willing idiot in such circumstances, content to do what he's told, and also getting on board with the concept as a consequence of the drip-drip feeding that goes on from his wife. He does have a level of entitlement himself, which his wife's narcissism taps into. In the circumstances, he has brought this court case, and it's all being done because of the residual benefit for Harry's wife of security, because she doesn't want to pay for it herself, because that would diminish that other important residual benefit, money. But it's evident that the problems that have arisen have come about as a consequence of her own need to court publicity, thus exposing them. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.